Hey everybody, back again for a quick little bonus episode today. This is not the daily progression. This is just answering questions I keep getting about staffing. And I totally understand that's a big question. If you're thinking about hiring a staff person, if you want it to be somebody local. So if you're trying to work your way through earning more income in less time, you need help. Ultimately, you're going to need help. And so you hire somebody local, or do you hire somebody that's virtual, like across the world sometimes, or even in the States? Or where do you find these people? How do you make sure you get the right person? So I'm just going to be super quick on this. I want to get back to climbing, but this is a really great way to kind of start this process. So jump on the screen here real quick. I pulled up on my laptop the places I've used dozens of places, okay, just dozens. But let's look here first because I think these are the ones I've narrowed down to. I've hired lots of people through these channels, and they've been just fantastic. And there's different price points. So first off, my two faves in the world for sure. Worldwide 101 premium subscription staffing for businesses. My executive administrator now is amazing. She's been with me for years, and she'll probably be watching this and correct me if I'm exactly wrong on that. But she's awesome. I actually found her through Worldwide 101. Now she works full time just with me. So she's great. Worldwide 101, though, is a staffing service. They hire folks in Canada. You're going to find somebody to staff in Canada, the UK, or the US. And they're amazing. Sandra's the lady who owns this thing. She lives in the UK. She's become a friend over the years. There's no kickback, no bonuses I get from doing this. This is just pure and simple, straight out the way this goes. You can find a staffing person that'll help you with all kinds of things. There's a few right there. Executive assistant, writing and editing, marketing, project management, plus more. I'm telling you, the folks I've hired through here have been just wonderful. They get the culture. If you're on the English side, I'm sorry, the US side of this, or the Great Britain side of this, some of those English speaking European countries or in Canada, they're going to understand your culture and they can find a fit for that quickly. You're going to find that when you're hiring virtual staff members, sometimes a culture fit is difficult. So let's transition to that real quick. By the way, I don't hire any staff locally. No one on my team works locally with me. I literally never go to an office. I haven't been to an office in a long time. All of our team is virtual. We work remotely, and it's so much easier. I want free time. They want free time. We all have families or responsibilities or whatever we're doing. This is the way to go. And right here, virtualstafffinder.com. This is another one that I use, Virtual Staff Finder. These folks are in the Philippines. I have several staff members and have had probably 7 or 8 staff members that live in the Philippines over the years. I've had staff members from India, from all over Asia, from several places in Europe, all over the US. I think some Malaysian as well. Anyway, I am totally hooked on people from the Philippines. Both men and women that I've worked with in the Philippines have been wonderful. If you're a US person, the folks in the Philippines have a very similar culture. I know there's so many differences, and my staffers are probably laughing at me saying that, but there's a similar feel in how we think and view the world and communicate. And it's easier to work with somebody who's got a more natural fit in that culture. Don't know why that is. I'm not a culture expert. That's just the reality in my experience. For Virtual Staff Finder, you fill in a little form. They get you started. You kind of walk through exactly what you're looking for in a person, and then they go out and do a search, kind of headhunter search type thing, and they find you 3 candidates. Then you get to interview the candidates. They send you audio and video clips of those people. They send you resumes, their experience, all kind of cool stuff. They send you that, and you get to scroll through, and then you call the ones, set up a Skype interview with the ones you want to talk to. If that first 3 doesn't work out, they'll keep going through the process, I think, until you find somebody. I've had to do that process. I think one time I had to repeat it, and there was no problem at all. But I think they let you kind of keep going until you find the person that's right for you. And that's been super great. In fact, I've actually gone through that process, hired one of them, and then had another job come up and hired another one on the list. And, it's kind of given me a stack of people that are great quality folks in the Philippines, background checked, all that kind of stuff. I think they do all that. It's super cool. All right, I'm going to jump back over to the Worldwide 101 side for a second, because that process is a little different. You tell them exactly what you're looking for, all that kind of thing. But instead of like a headhunter where you're hiring the person, so virtual staff finder, once you find them, you're hiring that person from the Philippines to work for you, either part-time or full-time. And that ranges typically, a part-timer would probably be somewhere in the $300 to $400 a month range for 20 hours a week. and a full timer would be somewhere in the 400 to 900, maybe $1,000 range. So the cost of labor is way cheaper, less expensive in the Philippines, but they're super high quality folks. There's a little bit of culture, a little bit of learning process sometimes you have to go through, but it depends on your task set and what you're looking for. I've had some amazing video editing done and audio editing done, administrative help. Um, Two folks in the Philippines actually helped me create and launch a podcast I did several years ago called I Share Hope, and we interviewed over 100 world leaders around the world. Amazing process, and they were just tremendous. So I love those folks. Okay, on Worldwide 101 side, it's a higher dollar ticket, and you're typically going to pay probably $25 to $35 an hour for somebody over Worldwide 101. You're not going to employ them on your own. Worldwide 101 actually hires them, and you're paying Worldwide 101 by the hour for that person's time. And that could be a couple hours a week, or it could be full time. They're going to help you figure that out and walk that process. But you're going to have a true native English speaker, and you're going to have a really fast cultural fit and maybe an easier experience integrating them into a business, particularly if it's forward facing and they're going to have a lot of high end customer interaction. It may be a faster learning curve. Not knocking the Filipino side of that at all, just saying a native English speaker and somebody who's born and raised in America is easier to talk to a customer born and raised in America and have a lot of cultural connection. Okay, so that's just that, but you pay for that difference. Okay. Last thing that's worth noting here is take a look here at the virtual assistant. You can Google this one too, right here on my screen, virtual assistant. I looked at this guy's blog a ton. He's really cool and he's got tons of great information. Let me see if I can just pull up his blog. He does these interviews with the companies. He has redone his website. It's beautiful, by the way, if he ever gets to watch this. Let's see. It's under reviews. Hang on. Yeah, let me go to reviews. And you can look through all these different virtual assistant companies from all over the world. And he gives, there we go. He gives ratings. Look at that. Look at that. Worldwide 101 is right there next to the top. Task bullet is something that's more, I have a list of tasks and these people just do the tasks. If you want somebody that kind of gets to know you and your process, you'd want to stay into the Worldwide 101. And he's got lots of reviews on here. You can click and review. Let's just say Worldwide 101. Let's go for it and see if it digs down deeper into his site. And there's the Worldwide 101 kind of overview. Oh, look, there's Sandra. And he's going to do a little interview with Sandra, and she's going to tell about her company. And you'll see that every company he works with, she's so great. If you go to Worldwide 101, she's just fantastic. Let's do Task Bullet. You'll probably see a little interview with the Task Bullet folks, whoever the owner of that company is. He typically gets to the owner. That's the guy who's the virtual assistant guy. He's the boss. And he'll either talk to the owner and interview the owner of the virtual assistant company or walk you through how the process goes. This is a great resource. So you don't have to use Virtual Staff Finder or Worldwide 101 like I am. I've used so many companies out there, so many, literally over a dozen, and tried a ton of things. And I've just kind of settled on what works for me and who works for me and what culture I fit in best. That's how I do it. I hope that helps. Price points are all over the place. This virtual assistant thing will walk you through even more detail. Obviously, we can get into tons of details on how to delegate and how to do all that. And I'm trying to put together some sort of a more interactive course structure where we can do that. But anyway, for right now, I hope that answers the question and gets you started. A couple of questions were, do I have anybody locally that I work with? No, I do not hire locally. Nothing against that. I don't want the employee structure. I don't have to go to an office. I don't want to have to see people. I want to be free. I want to be climbing, right? This is what I want to do with my time between meetings or between tasks. So I go for the virtual side of things. This is how I find people. I give you some price points, and then it comes down to systems and how well you communicate and how y'all juggle work back and forth. Lots of task and project management systems for that. I know it's a super fast overview. I will do my best to get you more information if you need it, but hope this helps. Enjoy your weekend. I'm recording this on a Friday. It's April 5th right now on a Friday, and I'm going to have some fun. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.